Ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone, this is the Loose Cannon, David McBee, and I have a very special guest joining me on this week's TLSN Overtime. And I'll tell you what, this one was hard to nail down. I mean, I met with her people got with my people. There's been negotiating. I might have advertised a little too early. She was joining us because we had to get all the negotiation worked out. But we got the one and only, the Anomaly, Kelsey Magnolia. Thank you so much for joining us here on TLSN Overtime.
Well, thank you for having me. And like you said, it was quite a journey to get here, but I'm happy we are finally able to do this. And thank you for letting me be a part of this. I'm excited.
We're excited to have you on here, and it's been a blast. I've enjoyed covering your professional wrestling career, especially over through Mid-States Wrestling. And I know a lot of people that follow our page, they see also different posts and stuff. And we've done a lot of interviews in the past, including your good friend Gary Roosevelt Graham. I've got a chance to interview him a couple times, and those were some of the most interesting interviews I've ever done. So.
Well, he's an interesting man.
That he is. So great guy. So, and I heard he's under the weather a little bit, but hopefully he gets well soon.
Yeah, he's starting to be on the up and up.
All right. Well, Kelsey, kind of tell us a little bit about we always see Kelsey the performer all the time. Tell us a little bit about, where you grew up, where you from.
Sure. Well, I live down in Arkansas now. I've been here for about a year, but before then, I was living in Des Moines, Iowa, and I was there for probably over 15 years. But back all the way to the beginning, I grew up, my childhood years were in Humboldt, Iowa. Very small town, about 5,000 people. It's about 2.5, 3 hours from Des Moines, north central Iowa. Just very, very nice. Like, I still love going back there. It's a gorgeous town, but small town. You graduate high school, you want to get out of there. So went to college at UNI for a semester, and then went the community college route, but stayed in the Waterloo area. And then from Waterloo went to Des Moines and just spent the last, gosh, the years just flew by in Des Moines. And now I'm down in Arkansas, and I could not be happier. I love it here.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of those rare locals. I've been in this area my whole life, so this is all I know. But it's always cool to hear how people have their journey to kind of get down here. But now you're in the world of professional wrestling. You are a wrestler. You have to be very athletic, of course, to compete in the ring. Do you have any type of athletic background that you had previously before you decided to get into the ring, or?
Yeah, I mean, like during the school years, school age, I was in a lot of sports. I did basketball, softball was my favorite. I did flag football when I was really little.
Oh, wow.
But the main thing I did throughout all of from age 3 to graduating high school was I did dance. My mom had me in a Melinda School of Dance, and I did ballet and tap and jazz, and that definitely, like, I did a lot of sports, but I wasn't necessarily like good at them. But dance I loved, and dance has definitely helped me a lot in my wrestling. Um, Once I graduated high school, I was not athletic at all, and I got a late start to wrestling, so I didn't start training until I was 31. So I had like my ath athletics growing up, and then, my 20s happened. And then I decided to do it, and thankfully I did. I had that dance background. I'd been working out and going to the gym and stuff like that, but not necessarily an athlete, but I had a little bit of it growing up.
Actually, the dance background, that makes sense now because, like your footwork, whenever I watch you wrestle, that explains a lot too, because, the way that you're able to move around the ring, very nimble in the ring. So, I mean, that makes a lot of sense now that I've seen
Thank
you
you.
perform. So,
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
no, no, go ahead. Yeah.
I like to think it's helped me a lot with balance and coordination, obviously, but also just being, I didn't, getting into wrestling, I didn't think I would be like super tall compared to a lot of people, but especially for women, I am pretty tall as far as female wrestlers go. So that dance background has definitely helped with that.
Now, were you a wrestling fan growing up as a kid, or did you follow it when you were younger,
Sure.
or
I did, but when I was like younger, I had to sneak around to watch it because it was like the height of the Attitude Era, and my mom did
yeah?
not want me watching it, so I wasn't like an ardent follower. I watched Raw when I could. I never saw a pay-per-view live. So I loved it growing up. And then kind of fell out of it when I became an adult until I went to my friend had a couple extra tickets for WrestleMania 26 in Phoenix, Arizona, and that was the second Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels match. So it was the streak versus career, and that made me fall in love with wrestling all over again. And I just totally became a mark again after that, and got way back into it. Eventually, got into Japanese wrestling, but I mean, I like the men's wrestling, but it was the women's wrestling, Joshi Pro Resu, that like really got me into thinking that perhaps there is a place for me in wrestling. And here we are now, I guess.
That's awesome to hear. I mean, what a match. I mean, that second match,
Right?
those two they had, those were incredible. The Undertaker
Hmm.
and Shawn Michaels matchup. So, so then how did you actually train to get into pro wrestling? Like, what steps did you have to take to become a pro wrestler?
Sure. So, like I said, I got back into wrestling, got really into Joshi wrestling, which is Japanese women's wrestling, and Asuka being in NXT just blew my mind. And then so I got into the more actual Japanese stuff, fell in love with the Stardom promotion over there, and their main star at the time was Hana Kimura. She is sadly no longer with us, but she was a huge, and she was pretty much the main inspiration for me to try wrestling because she was just so unique. She had the coolest outfits and the coolest attitude and like always looked so awesome. And I just thought, I'd been a fan and I wanted to see what it's like if I could do it. Like I wanted to see if I could do it. So I decided if I was going to do it, I was going to do it right and I was going to invest time and money into it. So I decided to go to JPWA, the Jacobs Pritchard Wrestling Academy in Knoxville, Tennessee. And it's a 12-week program taught by Dr. Tom Pritchard. And I don't think I could have picked a better place to start wrestling.
He's a legendary trainer. He's trained some of the greats of all time. So I mean,
Hmm.
that's an impressive background that you had in training. So what did it feel like that first time you got in the ring? What did that feel like? That first
Oh,
bump. I got a chance to take a bump, and I was like, okay, it's not a trampoline. So what was your thoughts that first
yeah.
time?
I mean, I am naturally a kind of anxious and nervous person. So I get in my head a lot about stuff. So I was very, very nervous. I mean, I didn't know if physically I could do it, mentally I was cut out for it, anything like that. That first day of training was just, I was just so scared, but I did it. And then getting through it was like, I mean, you do your first day, you lock up for the first time, you go through a few basic things, you take that first bump, and it's not fun. Like taking bumps isn't fun. Anyone who says it is just crazy, which we all are in wrestling anyways. But it definitely took me for surprise. Like it feels like your soul's leaving your body that first time.
Make sure you tuck your chin, right? You don't want to get knock
Yeah,
yourself out.
absolutely, absolutely.
So, then after you got trained and you actually started, competing on independent shows, what was that like that first time that you came out in front of a crowd? How'd that feel?
Oh my gosh. My first match outside of graduation. So we did the 12 weeks at JPWA, had a graduation show, and I wrestled a singles match on that. But my first real wrestling match was Central Empire Wrestling, booked by Austin Bayless, who he is a great promoter. It's a great promotion. They've booked me a number of times over the years, and I always love working for them. He booked me in I think it was Oskaloosa, Iowa, and booked me as a heel for my first match. which, like I said, I'm a very nervous, anxious person. And oh my gosh, I was just a wreck before this match. So nervous. My opponent was Valentina Loca, and she is a Black and Brave graduate, and she just carried me like a little baby. She like helped me so much with everything. But that first time being out in front of the crowd, like I'd done dance and musicals and plays and stuff like that, but never like the only one that people are looking at, because like when you do that entrance, like you're the center of attention, like it's all about you, and it's all worth it once you get out there, like all the nerves, everything you have to go through to get to that point. You're like, oh, I don't know if I can do it, I don't know, and then you walk through that curtain and it's all worth it. It's incredible. There's really nothing like it.
Every once in a while, I know like when they do like a Harrison show, I don't know why, but Jason Jones always he's like, Dave, you need to have an entrance. I was like, I really don't need one, but he's been
You do.
having me do it. Yeah, and what's funny is every time I always like don't have a shockmaster moment. Don't have a shockmaster moment. I was like, make sure you step way above because there's
Yeah.
a little indention that goes up. And I was like,
Hmm.
every time I'm so nervous that first step. But it's like once you get past that first step and get out there, then yeah, then
Yeah.
it's like you become a little more relaxed. So
And there is just a freedom being out there too, where even if you do mess up, if you trip or whatever, like you just go with it, you handle it. The crowd has fun. Like that's the thing about wrestling, is like if you can't have fun at a wrestling show, like why are you here? Everyone's there to have fun. It's just, even when you mess up, like I'm all over the place with this, but I've learned the most in wrestling by messing up in situations. Like that's definitely where you learn the most.
that's the way you get better. So far, I mean, you've had some great moments that I've got to call seeing you compete. But what's been that moment that's kind of, hey, that's what do you think is the biggest moment in your career so far? I know you're getting started, I mean, you're a pup compared to a lot of these, but where you feel like on that?
Well, I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to wrestle in Japan. This last was December and January. I was there for 33 days, and with the Ice Ribbon promotion. And I wrestled 6 matches. I did 5 multi-man tag matches, and then I had one singles match while I was there. And that's definitely the high point of my career so far, is just, I mean, when I started wrestling, I said like my goal in wrestling, because I know I'm starting a little older, I have different goals and everything, but my goal was to wrestle in Japan. Like that was it. Like if I do that, like that's it. I've made it. Now I've had to shift my goals a little bit because I've accomplished that with the help. I could not have done this trip without Gary's help putting it together at all. Like none of this would have happened without him helping me and other people along the way as well. But yeah, being able to have a singles match was incredible. Like hearing my music, because I came out to all the other like tag team music that whole time. So that was my first entrance with my music, just me. Like it was, ugh, I'm like getting goosebumps thinking about it now. It was pretty cool.
I know, like, you were sharing some pictures because we got to see you right before you went to Japan. And, so we were kind of watching as you were posting pictures and stuff of things going on during your trip. And there's a shot of you where you're like in the ring and there's, streamers and stuff flying. It's almost like you're at Mid States with all the streamers.
Hmm.
But the look on your face, like you were it's just like you look so happy in that picture. So.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the whole time I was over there, I was just like, this is a dream. Like I'm living in a dream right now. Because I'd never left the country before, let alone gone all the way to Japan. So like I learned how to take the subway, how to take the train, the buses, just grocery stores, everything. And like I was just thrown in, and pretty proud of myself for being able to do it, to like have a successful trip, to make it through to make them even want to book me in matches in the first place. Because I didn't know going over there if I was going to work in matches. My intention was just to train and try to get better, and had like a first kind of little tryout training session once I was there, and they're like, "Yeah, you'll wrestle on the show on Saturday." So every weekend I was there, I got 1 to 2 matches, and like I said, it was a dream. Like even now I'm just like, did that really happen? Was I really there? I was.
What was the culture like over there? I mean, the country and even the culture and the wrestling fans. I mean, I've always heard Japan crowds are a little different than American crowds.
Yeah, very different. And a lot of that is just how the Japanese people are. Like, on the subways, any public transport or anything like that, like nobody talks. Like, you don't disrupt the person next to you. It's just rude. You just don't do it. And that's just how it is. And it got kind of stifling for me at the end. Not that I'm like a big loudmouth or anything, but like I was just like wanting to just like yell random things and just like be the center of attention because it's very demure, Mary, very mindful. But that carries over to the wrestling crowds as well because they love it. Like they are passionate about wrestling, but it comes out in different ways. Like over here, you'll just have people yelling all the time, like good stuff, bad stuff, whatever. People just say what they want to say. And you get chants and stuff like that in Japan. It's just more they watch and then react. It's more of just than just reacting the whole time. And as far as Joshi wrestling goes, women's wrestling, it is predominantly a male audience. So which is, it is what it is. But I'm used to over here wrestling for families and kids. Like kids are the best part about shows. So when I was over there, I tried it. There were a handful of kids in the crowds. I'd try to find them and just connect with them like that because it is my favorite part about wrestling is interacting with the kids.
Awesome. Well, that's an amazing journey. And, now how long did you get to stay over there for?
It was 33 days total, and I was there over Christmas and New Year's. So got to experience it was a little bit lonely being by myself for that, but also like when else am I going to be in Tokyo on Christmas, you know? So it was incredible to have over a month and I mean, I feel like I got years of knowledge in the time I was there.
And I know you've wrestled for organizations all over the place. And the one I know you for is, of course, Mid-States Wrestling. And Mid-States Wrestling is just seemed like that organization, like you mentioned, it is such a fun crowd to watch,
Hmm.
such a fun crowd for me to announce. What's your thoughts and been your experience with Mid-States Wrestling?
Oh, I love Mid States. Even before I moved down here, I feel like Mid States was like my home promotion. I always say it to people who wrestle for Mid States and maybe haven't wrestled at other places, like you don't know how good you have it because Mid States is top tier. Like the production, just I mean, JJ has put in years, decades of work into the building in Harrison, just everything about presenting mid states in the most professional way possible. And you don't get that with most promotions. Like there are a lot of good promotions out there. There are a lot of really terrible promotions too. And being able to work for mid states is I feel very lucky to be able to call it a home because it is top tier and the crowd is dedicated. Those fans will line up out the door to get tickets for the next show. Like it's uh it's an incredible environment to be in.
Not only have you been competing as a wrestler, but then for a couple of shows, you've actually joined us on commentary. And I absolutely hated the first time we did commentary. You absolutely killed it. I was like, I cannot wait till I get the DVD to hear that. And then you joined us. Then I got the DVD, and I was like, the audio, we had an audio issue. We had a new guy that
Yeah.
had just joined us. The audio got messed up, so I never got to hear the commentary. No one's
Yeah.
gonna get to hear it, but what's your thoughts on doing commentary? Because you did a tremendous job on commentary with us.
Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. I have a blast doing it. You are a great commentator, and being able to work with Ryan as well. I mean, that's another thing that makes Mid States so professional is like you're lucky to have a commentary team at all, let alone two like skilled commentators and being able to like you said, like I'm in the ring, I'm backstage, I'm at my merch table, being able to just view the match from that perspective is so fun. It's so fun, and I was nervous to do the commentary, but I feel like it came pretty naturally to me. So hopefully I get to do some more opportunities to do that because I had a lot of fun.
We'd love to have you join us. And the thing is, too, you gave great insight, because, like we're talking about different holds and different moves and sets and different things like that. You were able to tell, hey, how's that impacting? What body, what
Hmm.
joint is that really,
Hmm.
causing some pain to? So, I mean, you really brought some great insight. We loved having you on commentary with
Well,
us.
thank you.
So, now I asked you earlier, what's been your high moment? I'm gonna go the other direction. What has been maybe your most embarrassing moment that you've had in the ring? Because everyone's had something happen out there at least once.
I mean,
Or
fortunately, I
worst
have,
moment.
yeah, fortunately, I haven't had anything like super traumatic happen during a match. I mean, there's just the standard, you try things, it doesn't work out. But as far as like, I feel like I'm jinxing myself by even saying this. Like, I haven't had any really big blunders where I'm just like, oh my God, kill me for that. There are some matches that I wish maybe people didn't film and put online, but you can't help that. But as far as a super big shockmaster moment, I don't think I've really had that quite yet. Knock on wood.
I apologize. We'll cut this out of the interview if something does happen, and if I'm the cause of that. So now you're back in America. You're back from Japan. What's next for Kelsey Magnolia?
Well, this Saturday night coming up, I am going back to Godfrey, Illinois, just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. I'm going to be wrestling for Midwest Wrestling Coalition. They are a new promotion. I think this is only like the fourth show that they've ever put on, but this particular show on Saturday, April 12th, has three women's matches on it, which I've never been on a show that wasn't an all women's show that had more than two women's matches on it. So they're doing a lot of good. They're really trying to bring different people in. Like I'm wrestling, gosh, I should know her name. Nova Fury is who I'm wrestling, and she is from the Tennessee area and has wrestled around that promotion, that area, as well as they're bringing in Carrie Morton again, and so they're doing a lot, bringing a lot of people in. I have that one, and then another April 26th, I'll be debuting for Mutiny Wrestling Federation in Springdale, Arkansas, which is nice. I don't do many. I mean, Harrison Mid-States is as close as I can get. It's like a 45-minute drive from here. So being able to be in Springdale is awesome because this Saturday, Godfrey, Illinois, it's a 5.5 hour drive there and back. So anything local, very nice. But no, I've got a busy summer so far, like still taking bookings and getting new places. I've got a weekend in Iowa in May. I'm doing Honor Among Wrestling in Rock Island, Illinois on a Friday, and then Central Empire Wrestling, which is my first promotion I worked for, going back there to wrestle in a shopping mall on May 17th. So that'll be a lot of fun. Also, just fun getting back to the Iowa area, go see some family. But got a busy summer so far.
Well, kind of tell us, for those fans that are watching online, they want to follow Kelsey Magnolia. What's the way they can follow you on social media?
Absolutely. I have a Facebook wrestling page. On Facebook, it's The Anomaly, Kelsey Magnolia. I post there and Instagram the most. On Instagram, I am at Kelsey Magnolia. Very easy to remember. Same handle on X as well. Twitter, I still call it Twitter. I don't post on there quite as much, but
Everyone does. Everyone
yeah,
does.
it's a better name. So yeah, Kelsey Magnolia. I've got a YouTube channel that I don't keep up to date, but I really should. But just search for Kelsey Magnolia. I'm pretty much the only one out there.
Right now, I think the sky is the limit for Kelsey Magnolia. And I know you're super busy, but on the show, I always like to finish with a few rapid fire questions. So, do you have a couple more minutes just for a couple quick rapid fire questions?
Absolutely anything for you, McBee.
Awesome. I appreciate it. All right. Last show that you've been binge watched.
Just started Righteous Gemstones. So I'm still in the
Okay.
first season of that, but ooh, it's good. I really like it.
Awesome. All
But
right.
then also,
What
oh, I do got to throw in that King of the Hill is my absolute comfort show. Like my background all the time, put King of the Hill on. So I'm constantly binge watching King of the Hill. So,
for some reason I'm all about like cooking competitions, so it's
oh
always
yeah,
Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmare,
yes.
and then I watch Bar Rescue, and I'm like, that
Oh,
food doesn't look nasty to me. I'd love that greasy stuff on there. So
you and Gary could watch TV all night long together.
I'm telling you what. All right, well, this is a tough one. Okay, I know this is gonna be tough to answer, but who's your least favorite wrestler, and why is it Rex Amadeus?
Ah, that's so true. I still have a lot of unfinished business with Rex Amadeus in Mid States Wrestling. The last time we were in a ring together for a match, he screwed me over and I lost the match. So I still have freaking sexy Rexy. There's nothing sexy about him. Greasy. That man is greasy. So yes, he is my least favorite wrestler.
Right now he comes out and he puts this lotion.
Oh
It
God.
stinks. The
It
fans,
does.
it gags us all, and he's trying to sell it to us for like $10 for a little tiny bottle of it. And
Oh,
yeah, that guy's something else.
bless his heart. He's trying.
Yeah, he's doing the best he can with what he has. I'll just say that.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I know, I love it when you come out because, you're always introduced us from Detroit Rock City. And, I love your theme music, but what is the music that you listen to really get you pumped up for a match?
Oh gosh. Well, I have a lot of long drives for wrestling. Most of my road trips are 3 to 6 hours. So I have a lot of time to listen to stuff. I listen to podcasts a lot. Cornet, obviously. I love that this is important. The Workaholics Guys podcast, another favorite. I love Theo Von. But as far as music goes, I am all over the place. Like I will listen to I'm obsessed with Chapel Roan. Everybody, like she's awesome. Listen to her a lot. I'll listen to Kylie Minogue, but then I'll also listen to like Iron Maiden and Megadeth. And I guess recently, when I was in Japan, they have the store Don Quixote is like they're everywhere and they have everything. It's like a big drugstore with just everything you could possibly want. But they have this super catchy theme song. And one of the last shows I worked on, I found a loop of that theme song for 30 minutes on YouTube. And that was the last thing I listened to before I got to the venue. So it's all over the place.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. You got to go with the flow. So, all right,
Exactly.
now, final rapid fire question. Tell us something fans might not know about Kelsey Magnolia.
Oh my gosh. Jeez. That's a tricky one. I'm not actually a David Bowie fan, which I mean, I used to get that comment a lot. I used to have dyed hair, like half pink, half green, had like a mullet with crazy colors, and I like to use bright colors a lot. So a lot of times people will be like, "Oh, I love your David Bowie gear. I love your David Bowie makeup." And I just say, "Thank you very much." But I don't actually care for him that much. Spoiler.
So I know you are super busy, and thank you so much for taking a little bit of your time. And I'm just so excited. We can continue to see the evolution of women's professional wrestling. You watch the major organizations right now, and think of one day, it'll be awesome to turn on the TV and be like, "Hey, there's Kelsey Magnolia in a big time match." And
You never
you
know.
know,
You never know.
I think the sky's the limits for you. So I
Thank
appreciate you
you.
so much for joining us. We'll have to have you on because I think there was so much more stuff. We could go more into Japan. There's so much stuff
Hmm.
we can discuss. So we'll have to have you back again sometime and go in a little bit further. And good luck with that Rex Amadeus. Good luck too with your match coming up this weekend, Kelsey.
Thank you so much. I would love to come back anytime. I had just an absolute blast talking with you.
All right. Well, again, Kelsey, thank you so much for joining us. And hey, the fans out there from the Loose Cannon, David McBee, just this week, go out and do something nice for someone. And remember, your tomorrows are never guaranteed. You have a great week from all of us here at the Twin Lakes Sports Network. And you got to check out Kelsey Magnolia. She's a rock star. We love her.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.